Hi guys, myself Radhesham Baragi and I'm again here for your civil engineering concepts. We have studied earlier some concepts. Now let us we proceed from the compression member. What is compression member? Let me discuss. Okay. In general, a structural member subjected to an axial compressive force is called a column, right? The vertical compression member in buildings are called columns, posts, or stanchions. The compression member in roof trusses are called struts. The main compression member of a roof truss are called rafters. The jib of a crane, which is a compression member, is called boom. So, have you seen boom blazer? In boom blazer, you can see the boom. So these are the most important things which we has to learn during the. Okay, the examiner can ask anything from this. Called rafter. What are the rafter? What are the struts? Okay, and what are the boom? What is the boom? Boom can see the compression member. All compression member have a tendency to bend even when loaded axially. Okay, this bending is called buckling. Okay, so buckling is happened in the columns. The buckling of the column is affected to very large extent by its own curvature or crookedness. Okay, by the type of end conditions, free, hinged, or fixed. These are the types of end conditions. We can see the effective length of the column, and the slenderness ratio, which is the ratio of effective length of a column and its least radius of gyration. Radius of gyration is again equal to root I upon a, where I is the moment of inertia and a is the area. Okay, so the axial load which is sufficient to keep the column in a slant deflected shape is called buckling load, right? Crippling load or critical load. We can the examiner can ask by these three names: buckling load, crippling load, and critical load. What is this? The axial load which is sufficient to keep the column in a slight deflected shape, that is called buckling load. Okay, the effective length corresponding to a given column is the length of an equivalent column of the same material and cross sections which hinged ends and having same value of the buckling load as that of the given column. The effective lengths for various end conditions as recommended by the IS 800 1984. This is very important. Please note down. They can ask about the IS code 800 1984. This is related to the effective length of the various conditions are given in this table, that is we will see one by one. The actual length L of the compression member shall be taken as the length from the center to the center of effective lateral supports. There are effective lateral supports. We will take center to center of the supports. So effective lengths of compression members according to IS 800 1984 is given here. This is very important concepts, questions. These are most of the times asked in the exams, in all exams relevant to the civil engineering, right? So see, one by one we will see. This is the recommended value of effective length, and this is the end condition. See, effective held in position and restrained in direction at both ends. What we will take? 0.65 L. L is the length, effective length. Okay, we will take effective length 0.65 L, right? And in the second point, effectively held in position at both ends and restrained in direction at one end. Effectively held in both in position at both ends, but restrained in direction at one end. This we will for this we will take 0.8 L. Please note down. Point number 3: effectively held in position at both ends but not restrained in direction. We will take L. See, effectively held in at both the position but not restrained in direction. That for that we will take whole length L. And if it is held in position at both ends but restrained at one end, we will take 0.8. It is held in position and restrained in direction both ends, we will take 0.65 L. Per point, effective held in position and restrained in direction at one end, okay, and the other end effectively restrained in direction but not held. This is the reverse. Now again the second thing is came. Okay, effectively held in one position and restrained, but second is restrained but not held. So we will take 1.2 L. See, effectively held in position and restrained in direction at one end, okay, and other end partially restrained. See the word partially in direction but not held in one. Not held in position, that is all right, but partially restrained. For partially restrained, this is for restrained, but this is partially restrained. We will take 1.5 L. And effective held in position and restrained in direction at one end, and not held in position or restrained in direction at the other end, we will take 2L. So these are the most important things. They will provide the length or they will directly ask these things. So please remember. Okay, let us move to the next. See some other things also given. The slenderness ratio, which is very important. The rate of effective length of a column to its least radius of gyration should not exceed the value given in the following table. So maximum slenderness ratio is given. So you can understand, say, what is slenderness ratio. Slenderness ratio is equal to L upon R. So this is least radius of gyration. This radius of gyration. So this will come root I upon A. Okay, you can calculate this. So you don't need to calculate even. You just remember these. For compression member which carry load, dead loads and superimposed load, what we will take? L by R. That is called slenderness. What we will take? 180. For compression member which carry compressive load due to wind or seismic load, what we will take? 250. For members carrying mainly tension in roof truss or a bracing system, we will take 350. Tension member other than pre-tension member, we will take 400. So they will ask the direct values of these things. Okay. Now let us move to the second point, which is short. We will let us do that also. Euler's formula. What is Euler's formula? Euler's formula for column is valid for large slenderness ratio. Large slenderness ratio. Please note down this. According to Euler's formula, the critical stress in a column, that is called sigma CR, for elastic buckling is given by sigma CR is given by pi square E upon L upon R square. That is called slenderness ratio. So E is the Young's modulus, L is the effective length of a column, R is the radius of gyration. See, there are 3 to 4 nodes, I think. So please note that. When the slenderness ratio for the column is less than or equal to minimum slenderness ratio, then the failure of a column occurs by inelastic buckling. Please note down. When inelastic buckling occurs, when the slenderness ratio per column is less than or equal to minimum slenderness ratio. Okay? Then the failure of a column. Another one is Ranke's golden formula for buckling load is adopted for columns having slenderness ratio more than 120 but less than 200. So when we will apply Ranke's golden formula for buckling loads, we will apply when the slenderness ratio is in between 150 to 20. Means more than 120 and less than 200, right? So let's move to the question number 3. The tangent modulus formula for the buckling load WCR of an axially loaded column is given by WCR is equal to pi square EIL upon L square. See, this is they are telling what is EL or what is ET, I think, E small t. This is what? This is called tangent modulus of elasticity. So they can calculate tangent modulus formula for the buckling load WCR is given by pi square ET L upon L square, right? In order to determine the allowable stress in axial compression, Bureau of Indian Standard BIS has adopted second formula. This formula takes into account any initial curvature or crookedness of the column and imperfections of axial loading. So please note down, guys, this is very important things I have taught you. See, maybe if you will memorize all these things, if you will learn all these things, they can ask 4 to 5 questions from these 3 only. they may be different, they can ask with different way. See, they can ask the cylinderness ratio, or they can ask the section, and then again they can ask for the cylinder ratio, and they can ask for the crippling load, Euler's formula. Okay, for this they can also ask. Okay, so questions, please remember these. They can ask for Indian standards also, which we have studied last. This is also very important. Both depend on the end conditions. The effective length is given like this. Okay, so please note down. So I just put the date here. Today is 14 January 2021. So please understand and listen once, twice, and thrice. Please do share my videos, and please be with me. Trust me, I would brought very important points for you, because I know what the RSMSSP and what the RPSC ask relevant to the civil engineering as well as Rajasthan GK. You can take your current GK also from some books like Drashti and Utkarsh, or you can you can also see the Delhi classes, morning classes. So anyway, please be with me for Rajasthan GK as well as civil engineering. So bye bye, take care guys, see you.